Welcome to Malibu, California, home of the Stars on this Academy Awards weekend. We're rolling out the red carpet for the WCC This Week, presented by Geico. We're inside Firestone Fieldhouse on the campus of Pepperdine University for our Game of the Week, featuring the Pepperdine Waves and the San Francisco Dons. Glad to have you alongside Casey Jacobson. I am Steve Quiss, and this is our second to last show of the year, and that means it's time for teams to start wrapping up championships and the number one seed in the upcoming WCC tournament. And that means tonight Gonzaga, who's already clinched a share of that championship, can win yet another outright title, Casey.
And they've been incredible all season long, and St. Mary's too with the win tonight will clinch that second seed. But then all the rest, there's still a lot of moving parts and a lot of teams that are trying to desperately to stay out of Gonzaga's bracket come WCC tournament time.
Well, with 3 games to go for all but 4 teams, here's how the tournament seeding looks for the first week of March in Vegas if things were to end today. Anything stand out?
Well, right in the middle, I love those matchups. BYU versus San Diego and Pepperdine versus Portland, 4 versus 5. That was a coin flip game. I can't wait to see who comes out of those brackets.
Now, of course, Oscar weekend here, and if you go outside, we probably run into, the likes of a Kanye West, which we hope is not here. But we thought we would do something fun here, and that would be give out some awards. And Casey Jacobson has seen this conference the entire year. He has some awards to give out, the Caseys, if you will. Now, there are some ground rules here, my friend. As I mentioned, Kanye will not be here, so he's not going to, split the middle of us here and then give his Beyonce nonsense. But there is a time limit here, so don't relax while you give these out. And please give out your first trio of awards, if you will.
Yeah, the 87th Academy Awards are happening in Hollywood tomorrow. We're going to give our basketball version of those awards. We're going to start with the best actor in a lead role, and that's got to go to Kyle Wiltshire. He's turned an already very good Gonzaga basketball team into one of the best in college basketball. He leads that team in scoring while shooting an incredibly efficient 55%. This is kind of an easy choice. He's been unguardable. Our next award is Best Supporting Actor, and it goes to Kyle Collinsworth. To me, it's hard to play in Tyler Haws' shadow, but Kyle Collinsworth has really stepped into the light this season. He's already broken the record for most triple-doubles in a season with 5, and his numbers on the year, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. That's pretty good for the second best player on the team. And the Best Director award goes to Randy Bennett. This was tough for me. Mark Few certainly deserves some consideration, Marty Wilson at Pepperdine, but I was wondering before the season how Randy Bennett was going to integrate all of his transfers. He's done a remarkable job, and they're going to finish second in the conference.
Yeah, they have a chance today to lock up the number 2 spot if they knock off the Zags here tonight on their home floor. All right, let's get to Casey's Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's got to be Tyler Haws. He's been so good for so long, and we've had the pleasure of watching him grow throughout his 4 years in Provo. And, he's going to be the first player in WCC history to lead the conference in scoring 3 years in a row. Really think about that. He's averaged over 21 points over the last 3 seasons. Just a model of consistency that isn't matched anywhere in the country.
I like those awards. Now, of course, when you have a red carpet rollout show like we do here, you always have to have that sassy E-News reporter. And, of course, we have a sassy E-News type reporter for you. Let's welcome in the third member of our team, Kelly Tennant. Kelly?
Thanks, guys. Well, for Best Picture, it actually happened right on this floor. Gonzaga was coming down to visit Pepperdine, and there was a little bit of a traffic jam on PCH. I left my home 2 hours before, and it took me all 2 hours to get here. I arrived at the arena. The team hadn't even gotten here yet. The traffic was so bad that Gonzaga arrived after I did. The game was delayed. It was quite a production, but let's go ahead and take a look at that game. The drama continued throughout the night. Gonzaga jumped out to a big early lead behind the play of freshman Domantas Sabonis, who had 10 first-half points. Gonzaga led by as many as 15 before the break. But in the second half, it was a different story as the Waves came roaring back. This basket by Stacy Davis cut the Bulldogs' lead to 1. Then Jet Raines kept the momentum going as Pepperdine could smell the upset. But Gonzaga's Kyle Wiltshire jump shot pushed the Zags lead to 3, and the Bulldogs would escape from Firestone Fieldhouse with a 78-76 win. So plenty of drama, but that's what you would expect when we're talking about the Oscars, guys. Steve, let's go back to you.
Thank you very much, Kelly. I'll give you the last word, Casey.
That really was a great game, and we've been fortunate to witness an incredible WCC season this year, and we still have a couple of weeks left, but I think it's important now to take some time to recognize some people that don't get as much recognition as they deserve. You know, it's not just about the players and the coaches. It's about fans, too. You fans. I'm talking to you. All the
You know what, Casey? I got to cut you off. You're actually out of time right here. Sorry about that, buddy. I warned you. I warned you. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll head to the studio where the coach Dave Miller and Chris McGee continue WCC This Week, presented by Geico.
Welcome back to Geico WCC This Week in Los Angeles. I'm Chris McGee alongside with the coach Dave Miller. You excited, coach, for a little WCC hoops?
Especially, it's almost tournament time, and the WCC is heating up, Chris.
All right, coach, let's get you to the highlights from Thursday evening. Gonzaga facing off against Pacific and trying to continue their dominance in the WCC and improve to 15-0. First half, Gonzaga up 6, forcing a turnover. Kyle Wilcher going the other way for the finger roll at the rim. Zags up 8.
Somewhere George Gervin is smiling with the finger roll.
The Iceman. Wilcher, red hot the first half. Kevin Pangos finds him. He hits the 3-ball in the corner. Wilcher 22 points at the break. Second half, Zags up 10. Wilcher drives, feeds Domantas Sabonis, who hits the baby hook.
You just love that chemistry. The high-low, patience, poise, finished by Sabonis.
Zags up 9 now, virtually identical play, but this time Wilcher spins and keeps it for himself. There's the lay-in, Zags up 11.
That's what makes him so hard to guard.
Wilcher in the post, makes it look so easy, the up and under for 2. 15 seconds to go, Wilcher with 42 points, and watch this. Pull the trigger for a deep 3, 45. 7 of 10 from deep. Wilcher's 45 points, the third most in Gonzaga history. Gonzaga clinches a share of the WCC title with St. Mary's. Wow, Coach. Offensively, Gonzaga just so efficient. You saw an example of it right there. Wilcher just completely dominant. What makes this offense so good? Break it down for us.
Well, Chris, they have so many weapons and they share the rock. I want to break down an Access 360 clip, and we'll see what they do. Here you're going to see the Zags. They're going to start in a 1-4 set. Now, you count the number of passes. Good offense always gets the ball to both sides. Now, the ball gets back to the start. Watch how Gary Bell is overplayed. He's going to back cut. But what makes this play is after Sabonis makes the bounce pass, he's not going to stand and watch. He's going to move with the purpose. Now you're going to see the give. Here you see the go. That's why he's shooting about 70% from the field. In this next play, watch the crisp passes. The ball never sticks. It moves the defense. It's by the pass, by the bounce. Now, even though Wilcher has a miss right here, watch how they attack the offensive glass. Now, it's a simple kick out, but watch Pangos lead Wilcher into a spot. Wilcher's going to have a good shot, but watch him. He's going to to get a great shot for a teammate. Right there he can pull, but he sees some bonus in the middle of the paint, and it's a nice little shuffle pass on the 6 pass, and that's what makes this team so hard to guard. They're selfless, they're egoless, and they get the basketball from side to side, which creates seams.
Great stuff. That was pretty to watch, Coach. All right, let's get you to more highlights. We got BYU at home taking on San Diego. BYU trying to win their 4th straight. Tyler Haws needs 35 points to pass Jimmer Fredette for BYU all-time scoring record. Baseline jumper 2019. Cougs moments later. Kyle Collinsworth drives, hits a tough bucket. BYU up 1. Second half, more Haws.
Well, what I like here is, Chris, the Cougars share the wealth and move it quickly.
Again, Haws attacks the basket, makes the bucket, gets the foul, 16-point lead.
Great scorers never take their chin off the rim. Watch on the dribble drive, eyes on the target, able to finish strong.
Under 5 minutes to play. Haws in transition, drives, makes the bucket, the foul. Haws finished with 28, just 7 points shy of the record. BYU wins it 75-62. So, Coach, they are squarely on the bubble. They've been back and forth between last 4 in, first 4 out. Is this an NCAA tournament team?
In my opinion, it is, because right now they've got 21 wins, and they still have 3 games remaining when you look at their schedule. And I just thought they had really good wins versus Stanford, versus UMass. And then in the non-conference, they had 3 losses to what I call tourney teams. San Diego State, they lose in double overtime. Purdue in overtime. And then to the University of Utah by 4. I mean, they've got a great non-conference strength of schedule. They're at about 15th. And when I look at their body of work, this is a team that has won 6 of their last 7 plays. I mean, you talk about a team that's trending. This is a team that right now can score offensively with the best of anyone. But to me, it's going to be their defense, and in particular, their interior defense. Can they come down and get stops? Because we sure know it's fun to watch Dave Rose and the Cougars. I mean, they score at will.
Yeah, it'd be great to get them in that NCAA tournament. All right, let's get you to more highlights. We have Portland at St. Mary's. Brad Waldo and the St. Mary's Gales are sitting in 2nd place in the WCC. Gales up 5. Waldo gets the friendly bounce on the hook shot, 22-15 St. Mary's.
Looks like Brad's getting his Abdul-Jabbar on.
I like that. Second half, 1-point game now. Kerry Carter finds Calvin Hermanson in the corner for the open 3. The bench loves it. Where's Waldo? There he is. It's happy. Gales pulling away. Aaron Bright finds Waldo wide open on the basket.
Rim rocker.
St. Mary's goes on to win it 68-51. How about USF at LMU? Mark Tollefson and the San Francisco Dons taking on Loyola Marymount. No score in the first half, Coach. Devin Watson with the long alley-oop. Tollefson goes up and gets it for the dunk.
How do you beat a zone? You get behind it.
LMU down by 10 here. Marin Mornar cuts back door, goes up for the big finish.
They just call him money.
Dons up 20. Tollefson showing off the range. 3-pointer, straight away got it. Dons go on to absolutely roll. They were up 31-8 there. Frustration running high for LMU. Look at this, Coach. Things starting to get heated. Siami was ejected, and LMU falls 72-45. Let's go on to the next one. That one got ugly. Santa Clara Pepperdine, Marty Wilson and the Pepperdine Waves taking on the Santa Clara Broncos. Broncos have won 4 of the last 5 games against the Waves. Jarvis Pugh with the block off the fast break. Dunking it home.
Phew, he's like Donna Summer. He's working hard for his money on both ends.
Second half, Pepperdine up 4. Jeremy Major fires a pass to Jet Rains. Makes the easy lay, and Rains would finish with game-high 19.
Deep seal. Great feel. It's raining.
Pepperdine up 3. Stacy Davis gets open. He hits the 3. Waves up 6.
That's my poor man's Larry Johnson, inside out.
Yeah, I love that. LJ, Major swings this one to Sean Olden, who drains the 3. Pepperdine wins this one 64-55. Here's what the conference standings look like. Gonzaga at least to share the WCC regular season title with their win on Thursday night. They remain undefeated, followed by St. Mary's and BYU. Pepperdine remains in the top 4 at 9-7. Top 6 get a bye in the first round of the conference tournament. Pepperdine has overachieved this season, picked in a tie for 7th in the preseason coaches poll. After Thursday's win, they are 9-7 and in 4th place in the WCC, thanks in part to head coach Marty Wilson. Let's learn a little bit more about Wilson. It's time for America's favorite segment, Coach versus coach.
Coach, you're in the hot seat. We're going coach versus coach. Best player you've ever coached.
Andrew Bogut at Utah.
Best player in the WCC.
This year?
Ever.
Doug Christie.
Toughest place to play away from Pepperdine.
Gonzaga.
What's your non-favorite basketball activity?
Fishing.
Favorite person to follow on Twitter?
Probably Coach Krzyzewski.
One person, dead or alive, that you'd want to have lunch with?
Martin Luther King.
What superstitions do you have game day?
I tuck my shirt in a certain way every game.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
To see the future.
If you weren't a basketball coach, what would you be doing?
I'd be teaching young kids.
Biggie or Tupac?
Ice Cube.
I'm mad at you. Stones or Led Zeppelin?
Stones.
Malibu or Manhattan Beach?
Malibu.
Hair or no hair?
No hair.
Yogurt or yoga?
Yoga.
A three or a dunk?
Dunk.
You're off the hot seat.
Appreciate it.
Yogurt or yoga? That is fantastic. You couldn't stop him. You couldn't get him rattled.
No, I was trying to make it up as I went. You know what? He can X and O as well as any coach in the country, but I'll tell you what he's best at. He teaches life lessons through that round ball.
That's what you do for me every day, Coach. Coming up next on WCC This Week, the story of Pepperdine star Stacy Davis and the bond he developed with his mother after her stroke. And we're back here on WCC This Week. The WCC Player of the Week is Kyle Wilcher. The Gonzaga junior forward averaged 17 points and 8 rebounds per game in wins over LMU and Pepperdine, driving Gonzaga's home winning streak to 40. He also shot 50% from the field and 46% from three. This is Wilcher's second Player of the Week win this season. Gonzaga has a total of 5. Pepperdine's Stacy Davis is on pace to become one of Pepperdine's all-time leading scorers and rebounders. For someone who rarely was the best player on his team growing up, that is a big accomplishment. But none of his success would be possible without his mom. Davis and his mom's bond grew closer after a scary day during his junior year of high school. Amanda Blackwell has the story.
Stacy Davis can remember the moment his basketball game changed for the better.
Growing up, I was never really the best one on my team, never really shined like that until I kind of got to high school. And then I got to play on the Arizona Stars. That's when I kind of got my first taste of actual competition. I played against Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Austin Rivers, people like that. And I was like, if I'm going to, be playing against these guys, I don't want to look like a bum. I don't want to look like the, the worst man on the court. So, I just kept working and kept working.
The work paid off, and soon Davis was getting serious looks from colleges. But during his junior year of high school, basketball was forced to move to the background of his life.
I get home from school, and I was at my grandma's house, and my granddad tells me that my mom was in the hospital. He said that she had a stroke. I didn't really know like the magnitude of what a stroke was, and so I was like, okay, hopefully, she'll be fine. And then, the first day where I actually got to see her, she was in ICU, and she saw me, but she couldn't speak. She was saying things, but it wasn't, actual words. And, I broke down and cried, the hardest that I ever broke down in my life.
Davis decided to change schools for his senior year to be closer to his mom, even with the possibility that he may have to forego his final high school season due to transfer rules.
I was willing to sacrifice my senior year just, to be closer to my mom and, to help her out. And at that point, I had already played my last summer of club ball. I had already, kind of gotten all the offers that I was going to get.
Everything worked out for the best. Davis was allowed to play his senior season, and his mom began to recover with her family by her side.
She recovered really fast, and we have a stronger bond now. It's like my best friend, and so whenever I see her, she has a smile on her face. That's my lady right there.
While his mother continued to recover, Davis decided that he would go to Pepperdine, with his family supporting his decision.
It was a no-brainer, and we continued to recruit him, and we ended up going into his home, met his parents and his family, and just sold everything about Pepperdine. And I remember like it was yesterday, and his mom just fell in love with everything Pepperdine had to offer.
I wanted to be a part of something, I wanted to be a part of a change. I saw that Pepperdine hadn't really been good in the past couple of years, but they did have a rich history of being good. And so I wanted to be part of that group that kind of brought it back and brought pride back to, the Pepperdine logo. I feel like, we're making strides.
The Waves are making strides indeed, and it's no secret that Davis has been a big part of the improvement.
There's no doubt it's a big correlation, and he's been a big part of it from day one as a freshman. And because he's such a good guy to be around, it made it easy for them to be with him and to play with him, and because he's such an unselfish player.
He's a great guy around school too. I think this year our team in general is a lot more connected with our students, and Stacy's a big part of that. He's kind of intimidating, with his big voice. He's strong, but I think once people start to get to know him and see what a nice guy he is and come to the games, it's really what we've been trying to get out of this campus.
In his junior season, fans may have noticed a slimmed down Stacy Davis, which is all thanks to some hard work with the strength and conditioning coach over the summer and his new favorite workout, yoga. Instead
of just being basketball oriented, I wanted to, take my mind off of basketball and do something that was, equally as strenuous on my body, and that was yoga.
He's addicted to yoga. He rooms with Sean Olden. He gets up early in the morning when we're on the road, and he tried to get Sean to do yoga at 7 a.m. And Sean tried it for 10 minutes, said, I can't do that. But Stacy does it religiously every day, and you see the difference.
Davis has made improvements and accomplished goals every year he's been at Pepperdine. But there's still more he wants to do.
Well, for one, I want to surf. I still haven't done that. On a serious note, I definitely want to, make it to the NCAA tournament. I want to win a conference championship. As a kid growing up, you watch college basketball and then you see the NCAA tournament, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be there one day, this and that. I have goals of getting there, but then when you get to that level and you realize how hard it is, it becomes even more gratifying when you can actually make that happen.
For the WCC This Week, I'm Amanda Blackwell.
Thanks, Amanda. Davis is having another terrific year. He's in the top 10 in WCC in scoring, rebounding, free throw percentage, all while leading Pepperdine to a surprising season. Let's take a look at today's schedule. A huge game between Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Gonzaga going on the road to try to stay undefeated. Also, Portland taking on Pacific, and Santa Clara visits Loyola Marymount. And the game of the week, of course, San Francisco at Pepperdine. Coach, Pepperdine looking to finish in the top half of the league. San Francisco trying to pull off the upset. What's the key to this game?
Well, Pepperdine's got to be carried by their defense. They've got to create turnovers, which will produce easy scores. They want to have some pace to this game, but they're also going to have to defend the Don's three ball. That's huge. And in doing that, you also have to keep Tollefson off the glass. He's on that glass relentlessly. So when a shot goes up, find a man, block out. If they do that, Stacy Davis can carry him to a victory.
You're off the clock. Great job, Coach. That's it for me and the coach. We'll get you back to Malibu after the break.
Welcome back to Malibu. It's fourth place Pepperdine against USF, a USF team that's won 6 straight over the Pepperdine Waves. Quickly, Casey Jacobson, let's get to the X factors for this afternoon's game.
Yeah, for San Francisco, I'm going with Matt Glover. He's not a great scorer. He only averages 6 points a game, but he leads the team in rebounds, assists, and steals while also doubling as their best perimeter defender. He might even get a turn at guarding Stacy Davis today. And for Pepperdine, my X factor is Lamont Murray Jr., the 6'5 sophomore guard, has doubled his scoring output from a year ago, and he seems really comfortable in his instant offense roll off the bench, and I love his shooting, 54% in West Coast Conference play.
That is a great call on your behalf. Oh, hold on one second. The student section behind me is just driving me crazy.
Settle down,
They're so
guys.
loud. Guys, settle. Okay, anyway, we're back for the tip-off. USF and the Pepperdine Waves coming up next from Firestone Fieldhouse on the campus of Pepperdine University. We're back for the tip right after this.